Welcome back to the Lionscapes channel. A lot of you have been asking me what kind of pen and paper do I use. This is actually important. For example, if I use an ordinary pencil, doesn't quite work, right? But now, with the right kind of pencil, can you notice the subtle differences? That's why you need to know what kind of pen and paper to use. First, the format of the sketchbook. I usually prefer the horizontal format since it's more convenient for drawing landscapes which usually are horizontal. You can also draw on both sides of the spread to gain even more space, like here. Secondly, the size of the sketchbook. My favorite is the A5 size, because it's practical to carry around and still has enough space. Very convenient is also the A6 size, which can fit basically into any pocket. A4 I usually don't use because it's a bit too big to carry around, but if I'm not moving much, then it's also fine. One of my favorites, the one I particularly like, is this extended A4 size. It's just about right for drawing horizontal scenes such as landscapes. Now, thirdly, the paper. The paper can be either smooth or rough. What's better depends on what you're drawing with. I prefer smooth paper since I mostly draw with pens. Rough paper is great for watercolors. You can simply feel the paper and you know the difference right away. The other thing about paper is thickness. It's important when drawing with watercolors or markers. If the paper is too thin, it can start folding or the marker can bleed through. You can find thickness of the paper on the front of the sketchbook, right there. For example, this is 110 grams per square meter. This is a bit too thin for watercolors, or 180 grams per square meter. This is thicker, and this should be about fine for watercolors. Now for the pens, the big secret. My favorite pen is Pilot V-Ball 05. It flows very nicely, it's waterproof, and the thickness is just about right. I managed to find this one in most stores in Europe, but I guess you can find it anywhere because it's a Japanese pen after all. It's great for fast sketches, line drawings, or drawing architecture. The second thing I use quite a bit are dry watercolors or watercolor pencils. You can color some areas with them that you want to apply color to, and then smudge them with some water. Or as I usually do it, simply lick your finger and smudge the color a bit. You get used to the taste of color after a while. Now, if you don't want to get your fingers dirty, you can use this. It's a water brush. This comes off, it's refillable. You can either fill it with ink or color, or as I do, simply water. And then you can use it to smudge the dry watercolors more nicely, like that. Alright. My second most used pen is the Rotring Art Pen. It's a bit thinner. It flows quite nicely. Not as nice as the ball pen, the Pilot V-Ball pen. But you can apply different amount of pressure to get different thicknesses, different line thicknesses while drawing. But the good thing about this one is that it's not water resistant, which means you can use the water brush to smear it a bit, to smudge it a bit, and get some extra effect. There you go. Yeah, you can get really messy. Lastly, I also use watercolors. These are in a box, which is quite handy for carrying around. Maybe this box is even a bit too big. The brand is Schminke. They have great colors and yeah, work fine for me. So this isn't everything I use, but it is my most frequently used stationery. I hope I answered some of your questions. Remember, it all depends on the kind of pen and paper you use. No, just kidding. But it is nice to find a pen you really like. Remember to subscribe and share this video around. You can see more of my videos on my channel or on my Facebook page through the link below. Have fun drawing, and remember, there's no such thing as a bad sketch.